So listen, we're gonna talk about certain things, and it's like there's the consumerist way, there's the hard, really it's the natural and the synthetic. And now the synthetic can be a poison. When you side with the synthetic, they do know one of the commandments is don't lie. So they're not, and there's rules for how to trade and barter in our synthetic. There's other places without those commandments. Look at how their trade and bartering goes, like in the eastern locations. But besides that, the natural normally requires work along with it. The natural, when you go with the natural nutrition, I'm not using vitamins, I'm not using supplements, I'm not using anything man-made. I'm using fruits. Well, really, that's man-made because who farmed those fruits? But let's say you do wild caught salmon and wild foraging, you eat dandelions and all this, and you hit your macros, and you would, if you got your protein and all the micronutrients from that most people get synthetically, you would be in the natural. You would be getting all these things that aren't just bought. They're things that are to be found, to be, and normally that's traded off for money, but you're getting into all these things where now you're in the natural. The natural money doesn't really matter. The natural, like, it is what it is from the creation of, or from certain lifestyle factors of the genetics down the lineage. And the second thing is the synthetic. Now, the synthetic is man comes in, like the weed was the natural, but now man came in and they're making it the synthetic. And this can be good or bad because the synthetic, like you go to these seed breeders, you can get high CBD strains that don't really fuck with your mental that much. Or you can get fucking balls to the walls, THC growth monsters. And that's what most people go with. And the fact is, that's the synthetic. This thing started off as nutrients. There's omega-3s in this plant. There's the seeds have fiber, protein, all this. It's the nature, it's the natural. And then the high that it's making now is from the genetics and the engineering of the synthetic. But one thing you need to understand is to even begin to get to the supernatural, the synthetic's never going to take you there. The synthetic is what's around you. It's this thought of, there's nothing going on. The world is the world. There's no behind the scenes. And now you're in the synthetic. Now you're wanting to buy your happiness. Now you're wanting to see the status and the success is what brings the happiness. This is the goal of the synthetic. Andrew Tate, a lot of these influencers, a lot of these people, they're from the synthetic. And the screen's the synthetic. Really, you're viewing me on the synthetic. No one's in this room hearing this. No one's here. And that's a thing. No one's really here. This you're viewing me through pixels. You're using the synthetic. This is the natural. This is morning glory seed extract. But it was used with the synthetic to make it this way, because normal, to remove the seeds and make it this, the seeds have this benefit. It's a spiritual steroid. It takes you to the supernatural, and it comes from the natural. So now we got something here. It's liver toxic because of the seeds. Remove this, it's purified and made better through the synthetic. The synthetic can make good things. We have a ThinkPad T400, fucking bulletproof computer. We got a fucking, this motherfucker, the synthetic, but the synthetic gets worse over time, because look, it's about what makes money. It's not about what's actually good. This motherfucker is the newer synthetic, a little bit newer of a synthetic. Look at the thickness differences. Look at how much more you're getting. And the fact is, this can be made to run well today. Pointless, but that's all the synthetic. That all takes you into the world of the synthetic. Where, and when you let the synthetic rule your world, you try to get around other people. Oh no, now I'm something I'm not. Now I'm a douchebag. Now I'm this and I'm that. And now that girl over there that's trying to provide for her family is a whore and a from the club, and she might live a lifestyle you don't understand. You don't know nothing about what made her that way. You fell for the synthetic and you've lost the supernatural, because now you're looking around, you haven't figured it out. The synthetic, it's killing me. I must remove from the synthetic. But the synthetic is too ingrained in everything you know. You were never taught the natural. You could have worked and learned and been a fool of the natural and mastered the natural, but you didn't. Everything around you is fake. But it's not really fake. It's just man-made. It's just man designed it to be that. Man designed it so you felt that way. Man designed it so that everything that happened when you consumed it, it would do. Or man just designed it to be the cheapest thing that you would buy. But when God designs it right, you're like, I've had chickens growing up. You raise the chickens. They're the natural. They shit on your porch. You got to keep them in a barn. That's one thing you learn. You got to make shit as less of a nuisance to you as possible when it's from the natural. Because the natural has none of these safety precautions and no. It's the world. And if you ever go homeless, you're back to the natural. I've walked, and I was like thinking, I've walked on these highways in America, so much empty land, but it's so crowded and no, it's designed, it's the synthetic, because there's so much of the natural, wouldn't no one ever know if you were there. If you knew how to do the natural, if you took the time to learn and master the natural. But then again, it's the synthetic. And that's not to say things from the synthetic can't be beneficial. If you learn to do blood work and like master your hormones, that's a good thing of the synthetic. People say, are you natty or not? That's a big thing, because one guy understands it's that these things cost money. And like a lot of money to do them, to get a good thing from the synthetic, and they might not be legal, because a lot of things from the synthetic that are allowed are bad. A lot of the good synthetics are illegal, like LSD, DMT. I mean, not really, but DMT, yeah, it's from the synthetic. You can't really smoke that, but it's also the natural. It's the Syrian rune, the ayahuasca. But a lot of the synthetic is just man's version and remixes of the natural. But some of the synthetic is far off outlandish things that don't exist in the natural. Another thing is the synthetic is when you see stereotypes. You go to watch Family Guy, or I'd say King of the Hill is more of the natural, because King of the Hill is like, that's a real life experience living in the South, in the western South. And people really do drink beer and drive trucks and work every day. That's a real thing. Family Guy is all stereotypes and bullshit from a brain rot nonsense. You're better off watching TikTok brain rot. Come on. Like American Dad, same shit. So many of these shows, same shit. And then people get these opinions about people and think about people, and that's not even real people. That's a fucking bullshit nut show. That's a bullshit nut show that God got nothing to do with. Now, God step in and understands what it all is. He care about you. He put all this here for you, and he know you choosing the synthetic, but he also know it's all you've been taught. He said, there's another way. So find him now.